Thank you. Hello, everyone. Welcome to the discussion 5 of the John McQuown Technology Conclave. This is the last discussion of the series of 5 discussions, which is based on funding. And today we have with us Impact Investing School. We have Sweta Banerjee and Ben Banerjee with us. As this is the last discussion today, we'll be talking and focusing on funding, how you can raise funding, how POP can help you, how different grants providing organizations can help you based on what kind of pitch you have created, what kind of instructions you need to follow. After the series of 4 discussions that we did, where we helped you in developing your entire project in last 4 weeks. Our focus will be totally on funding today to help you flourish further. So, with that, I would like to invite Sweta Banerjee. She's a TEDx speaker, TV presenter, and founder and managing director of Impact Investing School and Impact Community Chamomile, co-founder and president of Galileo International Impact Investing Center, and board member of Swiss Impact Investment Association. She is the Impact Investing and Sustainable Finance Ambassador of the Diplomatic World Institute, an impact investing expert, and is actively raising awareness and educating various stakeholders about this topic around the world with the main purpose to transform the finances into the force for good. Moving private capital into impact investing will help to solve social and environmental challenges and add meaning, purpose, and inspiration to the actors from the financial sectors. She is a keynote speaker, trainer, and or innovation agency and guest lecturer at various universities. She has nearly a decade of experience in Swiss finance sector as client advisor and investment specialist for reputable Swiss and international institutions. She has in-depth experience in fundraising, project management, and acts as finance coach and strategic advisor for social entrepreneurs. We also have with us Mr. Ben Banerjee, who has an over 25 years of experience in the sector and is an internationally known impact investing and sustainable financial expert and through and thought leader. Not only is he passionate and knowledgeable on this topic, but has devoted his life in it. He was originally trained as an engineer and earned an MBA from Netherlands and has led a few mergers and acquisitions in the past. With a characteristic, Ben is a result oriented, independent, and pragmatic person, leading him to become the president and co founder of Swiss Impact Investing Association. Since changing focus to impact investing, Ben has become a big name in the field and has made connections with and collaborated with successful professionals in the sector. As I went through their bio, you must have understood that why impact investment is a very important part of the pop movement because together with them we are trying to promote sustainable solutions, and they have been guiding us with this partnership from last 1 year. So with that, I would like to welcome Sweta and Ben to please take over the session now. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Drishya. Can you guys hear me well and see me well? Just maybe show me a sign that it's fine, or put it in the chat. So to make sure that everything goes well. Okay, perfect. Thank you. Thank you, guys. Just to manage expectations, Ben will not be joining today due to other duties. This is why I will be on my own representing both of us, Ben and myself. So hope you are fine with that, guys. And next time, Ben will be joining you as well. All right, so let me please quickly share my screen with you. So just a second. And before we talk about fundraising, as Risha said, that it's the core of today's discussion, I'd like really to make introduction to impact investing and to the sector itself, because it is very important you understand what it is and how the sector is operating. So understanding it is a key for fundraising. And this is why at the beginning, we are going to get everyone on the same page and start with some definitions as well. All right, I've been introduced amazingly well. No time, no need to repeat things. What I want to say that for me, it's very important to achieve sustainable development goals. As I have a family, I have kids, and I want them to see the oceans. I want them to see the blue planet, which is behind me. And this is why it's one of the important points that everyone has families. Everyone wants them to see fish in the oceans and not plastic, right? And there are many other issues which we are trying to tackle. And this is why we are doing what we are doing, inspiring and helping young people to get engaged into impact investing sector and build business which is not only profitable but also which generates positive social and environmental impact. All right, then let's just go quickly. What are we going to talk today about? What is impact investing? I want really you to understand crystal clear what is it about. And also the actors of the market, right? Whom are you possibly going or can approach when you want to get funds in this sector? And of course, then we go deeper to fundraising, where to start. All right, what is impact investing? And some of you might already know, but some not. And this is why I'd really like to define it as it is defined globally. All right. So it's investments which are made with the intention to generate positive, measurable social and environmental impact alongside financial return. Here, important words are positive, of course, but also measurable. Because impact investing companies are measuring their impact, and investors in this sector, they demand that the businesses would measure in order to understand what impact their money is generating. The market of impact investing exceeded $1 trillion US, right? And when we are talking about impact investing, we are connecting it to sustainable development goals. And I will talk about it, how it is exactly connected in the next slide. But before that, I wanted to guys show you how much is it? $1 trillion US, because we talk about these numbers, but it's difficult to imagine. So usually the highest banknote that you can have is $100, right? And $10,000 bills are just so much as you see on the picture, right? So it's 100 banknotes of 100, okay? If you want to have 1 million, it's easily will come into little suitcase, as you see on the right side. And let's go to 100 million. So it's 100 times this suitcase, right? So you have this man standing to the 100 times that. 1 billion, I'm sure it's much bigger. So it's 10 times 100 million. And 1 trillion, which is around the impact investing market, you see how big it is. So it is not a tiny number, which is already allocated into this sector. And it has been growing since many years. The market has been doubling. And it's also what we expect to happen in the next year. So many more money is allocated to impact investing, which is a great sign. So we have chance to help our planet and people, and you have chance to create impactful businesses which will be easily funded and get money for your development. All right, to remind you, sustainable development goals, right? They are very important for impact investing. And impact themes are actually applying sustainable development goals. So when impact investors are searching for projects, there are various platforms like Impact Base from Global Impact Investing Network, where you can find more than 500 funds which invest in different sustainable development goals or impact themes. So when you are looking for money, you could use such platforms and see and find the impact investing funds depending on the themes. This is very important to understand because as a business owner, you should really incorporate sustainable development goals into your business model, because for investor, it will be easier to find you if you know what themes you are trying to address. And guys, if you have any questions, please put it in the chat and I will try to keep an eye on it and answer during my presentation. All right, let's go to the next slide, which is about what is impact investing. Again, we are not done here, okay? So when we're talking about impact investing, it's investment in social enterprises, but they have some criteria which we really need to understand. They must be financially self-sustaining. We are not talking about charity, philanthropy, even though many projects, when they are just starting, they can get some grants, they can win some awards, they can receive donations, and with the time transform their business model to sustainable one, meaning they are not relying on donations. They generate income themselves. And this is very important. If you want to get impact investors on board, you must have a sustainable financial model, which you are going to implement in the next years. Measuring impact, right? So you create impact and you must measure it, because impact investors will ask you to provide a regular impact report. And this is very important. The third is usually, how can you generate profit and impact at the same time, right? It's some people, you know, I have some friends in different countries, and when they hear it for the first time, they almost don't believe that it's possible, because they usually do business and then they donate to some good purpose projects. But in impact investing, we do it at the same time, right? So business already generate positive impact. How can they do it? They must be innovative and disruptive, using modern technologies and innovating business models. And some projects which we were working with, they come without sustainable financial model, and then we are working on that. And believe me, there is always a way to transform so that your project or your business can create this profit and impact, what I'm talking about. And scalability. This is also a very important point, because if you just create a small project, which is maybe helping you to sustain your lifestyle or a hobby which you are doing, it's not for impact investors. Okay, it must be scalable at a certain extent. Maybe you can reach to different countries or different regions in your country and so on. So in order to scale, not only profit, but impact, right? So many projects which become successful in one country, they bring it to other continents. We had a sanitary napkins project, which was originally from India, but then they also spread to Africa, because the problems are oftentimes the same in different countries. So of course you need to adjust it, but still you can scale it in different countries. And very important point, that all the social enterprises must have an underlying mission at the heart of the business, right? So what we were talking about, SDGs. This is really first what you need to understand. What is your mission? All right. And I'd like to give you some very concrete examples. Then I think it's very easy to understand which projects I'm talking about. One of them is Choba Choba. It's a chocolate brand in Switzerland, but they are working together with farmers from Peru. What they're doing, that they produce organic chocolate, but unique solution which they're providing for problems like Cacao farmers usually get very little income in the chocolate industry overall. So they are revolutionizing the whole chocolate industry in a way that farmers are also co-owners of the company. So they increase their income. And of course, a lot of times chocolate industry is not producing organic chocolate, which is good for our health. That would be amazing, right? To have chocolate, which is also good for our health. And this is one of the chocolates. I don't know if it's already in your country, but you can check that out. And they bring the chocolate directly to you, meaning they reduce also the distribution chain and CO2 emissions on the way. So it's, you see, it's kind of holistic solutions which a company is doing. And so they create positive impact for farmers, they increase their income, they make organic agriculture. So they are good for the nature. And of course, they reduce CO2 emissions when they operate. Second project, international biomass solution. And I like it because it's amazing. It's like a magic grass, if you want. So you harvest it several times per year. And what you can do with this grass is to produce protein, not only for animals, but also for humans. So if you're a vegan type person or think about it, so all the meat or egg products which are made out of plants, so this is one of the plant out of which protein-based products can be made also for humans. Also amazing that this grass absorbs enormous amount of CO2 out of our atmosphere. And of course, it's zero waste production and circular economy project. And this is why it is impact investing. Again, it's multiple solutions for various problems. We go further, plastic problem. There's amazing project, Neff House. They build houses out of plastic, and it is accessible house which they are building. So they are not costing millions of US dollars. So they are addressing two problems, plastic waste, right? And also accessible housing by solving it. One more in energy. So solar energy company, they provide so-called solar power kits, which replaces kerosene, because kerosene is very bad for health, as you know, when you inhale it. And with kerosene lamps, I mean, there are a lot of accidents as well. And kids who don't have light in the evenings, they cannot study for the school. And this is why it's so important that a low-income population get access to such technology. And exactly the point, what I was saying, that innovative technology provides solutions and makes it possible to create sustainable financial business models like here. So the clients are paying on a daily basis or monthly basis these solar kits. And this is how they can afford it. So after 1-2 years, they become the owners of that. So by using mobile payment systems, it is possible to do such things. One more project for you guys, Project Circlag. I really like that one because it is a life-changing. If you know, and maybe you have seen it before, so people in low-income countries cannot afford expensive prosthetic systems for lower limb, right? If they have not one or only one leg. And a lot of times people just use piece of wood. And imagine, so if you go to the toilet, a lot of times then you just need to take it out and then put it back again. How uncomfortable is that? And with this solution, you can sit down, you can walk, you can bend on your knees, and it's really changing the life. The advantage of this product is also that it can be produced locally, and it's using 3D printer in order to print the exact product how it is needed. Again, you see here innovation in technologies are playing a big role in impact investing. All right, let me just quickly summarize what impact investing is not, right? So we talked that it's not philanthropy and charity. It is an investment. It is also not a socially inclined investment. What does it mean? Some companies, for example, they produce shoes and maybe 5% of their income, which they generate or revenues, they donate to some social projects. But it still means that at the core of the business is generating profit from the main activity. So this social part, it's very low and it's not impact investing for that reason. We need it to be at the core of the business and mission. Corporate social responsibility, clearly it is not impact investing. Responsible investing, you might heard that one, and sustainable investing. Impact investing was created after responsible and sustainable investing. So responsible investing is when some people couldn't sleep at night and they said, okay, let's exclude certain industries like tobacco, weapon industry, porn industry out of our investment scope. And they called it responsible investing. Okay, it's very simply explained. On the next step, they thought, okay, we can do better. So let's include some criteria, which can be environment criteria, reduction of waste or reduction of CO2 emissions, some social criteria, like including more women into top management positions, so more gender equality in the company, and governance criteria. And the companies which were best at these scores, they were called sustainable investing. And nowadays, unfortunately, it is also misused. So companies like Microsoft, Apple, they're also sustainable investing. So if you don't understand what is what, you cannot take the right action as an investor and as a business. This is why I want you guys to understand exactly what is what. And impact investing goes, as you understand, one big step further with this underlying mission and problem solving for our planet and for humans, and it generates return at the same time. I hope that is clear. If you can post me in the chat, yes, we got it. Go on. That would be amazing. All right. I have a question from Ivan here. Do you know particular investors or competitions that support mainly project of use? That's very good question, Ivan. Yeah, unfortunately, my memory sometimes is not collaborating 100%. I know there are some, and we've been also working with them. So I would need to check in our partnership database. I couldn't tell you right now, but there are many organizations. Maybe you could check also Nexus, because Nexus is a very good network for use as well in impact investing sector. And they do a lot of events and specifically for young people. All right, let's continue with the opportunities in impact investing. So why it is important at all? What are the opportunities in this sector? So the market, as I told you, is exceeded $1 trillion US. And there are more than 1,720 organizations which are directly investing with impact. But there are many more which are just partially doing impact investing. SDGs teams, I think now it's becoming more and more known, and many governments are also incorporating SDGs in their programs. So SDGs are important and opening up opportunities in impact investing. European Investment Bank at our TV show announced that they will allocate $1 trillion US for climate change related projects. This is why it's less than 1.5 degrees temperature. So, and it's not the only case. Many big banks are allocating money, many organizations and foundations. It's a really transformational moment. And this is why it is your opportunity to start your business now, if you didn't yet, or if you have, then definitely you should check impact investing sector out for getting funds. And I said you have many advantages from national governments, which provide not only financial support, but also technical support on the expertise. Here in Switzerland, we have InnoSwiss, for example, which are teaching about social entrepreneurship, which are providing mentorship support as well. Also after the programs when you are selected and so on. So many governments are doing such kind of programs. You need to check it out depending on where you are in this world. There are many resources available and money expertise, as I said, as well. But also very important is that there is very little or no reputational risk and goodwill in impact investing sector, because when you are doing your business based on impact, many more people want to join you as well, right? And nowadays, you cannot operate as a German, Italian company and have it very well structured here in Europe, but then do some mess in somewhere in America, you know, having a sister company which is doing environmental damage. So this doesn't work anymore. The world is very much interconnected, and now due to social media, everything becomes open very quickly. So reputational risk is very sensitive topic, and this is why many companies are forced to transform, not to bear reputational risk and do their operations properly, taking environment and humans into their business models. Right, just very quickly to show you that impact investing, even with this 1 trillion, is still a tiny number in the whole sustainable sector, which is around 30 trillions, right? So this negative screening, the simple one, is around 20 trillions. And our goal is to shift the capital towards more impactful projects. This is what we are doing. And here is a representation. How can you actually visually see impact investing between philanthropy and sustainable investing? And just one more time, so it's completely crystal clear that what is the difference between impact and sustainable investing? That impact investing is providing a deep impact on people's lives, changing systems, where sustainable investing, it is generating impact, but is rather broad. As I gave you some examples earlier, they can implement some criteria, waste reduction, CO2 emission reduction, but it doesn't dive deeper. However, we are very much needing more sustainable investing to happen, because if a big corporation changing their whole operations, it takes time, but their impact is also huge. Right, if they're changing their products, like reducing sugar in some of their products or completely sugar-free products, it creates a lot of impact. It takes time, but it's very much needed. So we need both impact and sustainable investing. A little bit of history. So, you know, before in the investment world, people were just driven by return. High return, great investment. But then some financial crisis happened, and then people understood that actually, if it's risky and high return, it's one thing. If it's high return and low risk, it's another thing. So risk and return are very much connected. So it must be taken into consideration. But 2008, I don't know if you were guys born already. Some of you maybe were little kids. I experienced financial crisis at full extent. I was studying at the University of Zurich already. And this is when my question came: what am I studying? Everyone is blaming finance. It's horrible. I was ashamed to become a financial person. So this is when my pivotal point started to figure out how can we do good with finance that also creates positive impact in the world. And this is a thing. So impact investing is taking into considerations all the three dimensions: risk, return, and impact. Impact investing and SDGs. I don't know if you like math, but you better should. Here are some inspiring numbers for you. So as we said, impact investment is globally 1 trillion. To achieve all sustainable development goals till 2030, we would need 2.5 trillion of capital. So it's 2.5 times more than current impact investing globally. The global wealth around our amazing planet is 250 trillion, which is around 0.5%. So impact investment is 0.5% of global wealth. And the gap, so to achieve the SDGs, we would need annually 2.5 trillion, meaning that actually it's really realistic and feasible to achieve those goals, right? And if some skepticals are coming on your way, you can say that if we just increase impact investing to 1% annually till 2030, we can do that. And this money is available nowadays on our planet. Okay, so impact investment is important because it provides solutions to the global challenges. Now, fundraising. I think a lot of you were waiting for this moment. So how do we get funds in impact investing sector, and who are the players? So there are many impact investors out there, and we could put them in 4 categories. Asset owners. It can be private individuals, right? It can be foundations, governments, corporations, and so on. They are also institutional ones like asset managers, venture funds, banks, family offices, development finance institutions, pension funds. They're also all doing impact investing nowadays. You can also check demand side actors, which are some community development finance institutions or some cooperatives, social enterprises, right? So the ones who want to get the capital, right? So small and growing businesses, they are the ones who we are trying to support the most, because usually it's small and growing businesses who are struggling to get capital at the initial stage. When you will be already at the growth stage, it is often easier to get bigger portion of capital, like from 5 million and onward, than to get 100,000 or 300,000. The effort that you are going to put to get the money will be around the same, but the portion of capital is different, okay? This is why we teach our students how to structure your demand for money in a way that you would get more for many years, so you would not need to do fundraising just when you finished, because it takes enormous amount of time to fundraise. And the 4th category here is service providers. So if you want to connect in impact investing sectors, there are various networks. One of our network is Chamomile Impact Community, where you can register and see projects, investors, and experts from impact investing sector. We have also investors, of course, on the platform, very well known, like Brennick Myers. We have also European Investment Bank and others. So check that out, chamomile.ch. Other service providers are can be consulting firms and government programs as well. As I said, in Switzerland, there is one InnoSwiss program, and nowadays a lot of programs are happening online. So even if you're not in Switzerland, you could apply and be in the program. Check that out. This is just to show you how diversity is, a lot of amazing companies out there, and this is not at all. Just to give you an idea that how many impact companies are there. And you need to understand that impact investors can be also different and have different set of minds and expectations towards your business. Some of them are looking really to high financial returns like market returns. They are so-called finance first investors, but they also want to generate impact, right? The others, they're closer to philanthropy. For them, high impact of your business is very important. So why it is important for you to understand? Depending on how profitable your business is going to be, you should approach either finance first or impact first investors, because if your income in the future revenues will be a bit lower, but you create really tremendous impact, there are many impact investors which are willing to provide you the capital with very low interest rate and wait much longer to get it back than the finance first investors. And impact investors, if you never seen this curve before, it basically shows different stages of enterprises, from seed capital, early stage, later stage, to IPO, okay, when you go on the stock exchange. And impact investing spread everywhere. So the angel investors, which also provide capital to projects, they are venture funds, they are also banks who are doing impact investing at a later stage. So it's really impact investing. It doesn't matter where you are, you can find your impact investor out there. Okay. Some names for impact investing in Switzerland. You have an idea, right? What is impact investor is expecting from you. It's very important you do your homework and research on them. What are the investment criteria, right? Do they invest in your theme? Do they invest in education, or do they invest in climate change project, or do they invest in smart cities, or life on land, agriculture? So what is the theme? Are you fitting this criteria at all or not? They also publish a lot of information. Some even publish projects where they already invested. This is how you can have a better idea whether you are fulfilling the criteria and can apply. So you wouldn't lose your time and their time if you're not fitting. So it's your job to do very good research and then to apply. All right. A little joke for you guys. Why finding and selecting investors? So usually entrepreneurs look much better after funding, because when they are self-funded and they are working 7 days a week, 24 hours, they have not enough resources, not enough funding, you cannot do it in the long term, right? So this is why if you want to grow quick and if you want to grow good, you should search funding out there. And I just wanted to give you some of the basics of fundraising, because it's also valid in impact investing, right? So seed stage financing usually starts with bootstrapping. Bootstrapping means that you are financing your enterprise on your own, with your own means. And it can be beneficial in a way that you are your own boss, right? You are the only owner of the company. You are flexible what you do. You don't need to provide any reports to anyone, and you don't spend time on fundraising. And it's usually where everyone starts. Why? Because if you come right away to the investor and he asks you how much money did you invest yourself, or did you get some money around from your family, and you said no, if you yourself didn't invest anything yet, how do you expect someone else to invest in you? So bootstrapping is important period. The question is how long you want to do it, right? And how quick you proceeded yourself with the development, so you can already go to the next stage. It's advisable if you can do already some minimum viable product, MVP, on your own. So if you're developing a platform, that you have at least a demo version of it to demonstrate to an investor, or if you have some product which you produce, you have already a product. We have had a student from Sweden who produced sustainable sportswear. So she on her own managed to produce the sportswear which she was selling, and then she went to investors, and then you immediately see like everyone wants to get into that because it's already generating revenues, it has clients, it has product, it shows that people are liking it, right? So the question is only to scale it up. And this is why bootstrapping, if you're just at the very beginning, it is the way. All right, of course, the cons are that you cannot grow very fast, and in the long term, it's not beneficial. Then FFF, family, friends, and fools. So the next stage, you need to convince people around that your project worth it. And this is why it's important that the close people to you do invest in one or another way, or maybe they become your advisory board member as well. So people are also resources, don't forget that. And for investors, it's very important, do you have a team or not? So if you are just one man or woman show, investors usually do not invest. They will want you to have 3-5 people in the team, and also advisory board, ideally 3-5 people, senior people who are standing behind you and were convinced by your idea. This would be an ideal situation, kind of. Okay. And the pros are that, of course, it's more easier to get and quicker to get funds from your family and friends. And the question is here more, if you fail, can you still have a good relation with those people? And advice here is that you must say to them, I don't want your money. But if you really want to give and you are aware that you can lose everything, then okay, I can accept that. But if you don't say it proactively, some people just don't know how it works and they're not aware of the high risk of the startup. This is why be aware of that. Okay. Great. To the next one, equity finance. This is one of the most spread tools, equity finance in startup area, right? Because you can raise large sums and grow quickly when you get some equity investors. And of course, if you got some active investors, they will also help you with their experience and their network because they are also on board. They are in the same boat as you, so they want you to become successful. So they will help you with the means that they have. Of course, it is time consuming. The fundraising might help 6-9 months to do. And you will need to give some of your company away. It can be 10%, it can be 40%. It really depends on how much you fundraise and what can you offer to them. Important that you understand what is your investment offer, right? So if you are looking for 1 million US dollars, you need to understand, okay, for 1 million US dollars, I'm ready to give 10% of my company or 20% of my company away. And why? So you need to understand what is the valuation of your company at this stage so you can show to investor why is it this way. And then there might be some negotiation process, right? And you might meet somewhere in the middle, 15% for 1 million. All right. Also important to mention here that impact investors, even though, of course, they're interested in impact and profit, at one or another stage, they will want to exit your company, to sell and get their money back. For some, it might happen in 3 years, for some in 10 years, but you need to prepare the exit strategy as well and discuss it with your impact investor, because you don't want to get on board someone who just want a quick profit, right? And not less impact. Impact investing and any investing is like a marriage. So you need to like the person. I had very funny case with one of the students. She asked me, well, we have someone who wants to invest in our company, but I don't like him. So what to do? Should I get the money or should I wait and find another one? And the answer is really, it is a long-term engagement, right? So imagine you need to talk to this person, especially in the beginning, every single day. You need to deal with them. You need to show your progress. You need to deliver some reports, and at least 3 years. If you don't like the way they work, the way they are, it will create negative energy and hassles and problems for you. So advisably, it's better to find investor where you really match with personalities and visions and missions and how you operate. And this is why, from experience, usually impact investors, they allocate maybe not the whole portion of capital right away, but maybe 500,000 first if you ask for 1,000,000, or maybe it's 250,000 first. And then you have certain milestones which you need to reach. And if you reach that, if they are satisfied, the next portion of capital is coming. Okay, so it's a long-term engagement where you need to get to know each other in order to be successful together. All right, crowdfunding. This is very important tool, and nowadays many projects became successful at that. And the project which I mentioned before, the sportswear, they raised also substantial amount of capital through crowdfunding. So they had a product which they wanted to produce, people were convinced by their mission, and then they provided money, and then at the end they get some product. In US, there are also equity crowdfunding, so meaning you can really invest in a company through crowd. The only point that you need to understand that if you have a lot of investors, you need to satisfy all of them and keep them happy, right? So if you have 10 investors, it's one thing. If you have 1,000 investors to communicate with everyone, you need to find very efficient communication tools. And how do you deal with those 1,000 investors if you crowdfund? Otherwise, you can raise small and large sums through crowdfunding. People are successful in crowdfunding if they prepare their campaign very well. So don't underestimate that. It is important to really outline your campaign and prepare videos, testimonials, posting regularly. And the key is that in the first week of campaign, at least 20% of capital should be in. Because if people are looking at the crowdfunding campaign, after 3 weeks, there is still zero money in. I mean, people want to be part of the success and not failure, meaning all your friends, whoever knows, must invest in the first week when you do crowdfunding campaign, that other people that they see it, okay, there is already 30% capital invested, 40 and so on. So they are more willing to give, even if they don't know you. All right, let's move forward. Awards and grants. Very important part for different reasons. It's not only giving you some money, usually it's not big amounts, but some of the awards indeed can even get you 100,000 US dollars and so on. But it's also important for you, for visibility, for credibility, that people can see you. You are learning a lot when you pitch in the public. We just closed our Impact Leaders Award 2022, and all participants learned so much, not only when they were pitching, but also from the peers, because they listen to the feedback which other projects are receiving. So they automatically kind of know, okay, what might come as questions, also for my project. So you learn a lot. So if you never participated in any award or grant competition, please do. It's amazing experience. It will polish all the aspects and get clarity of your enterprise so you can get it. The cons, of course, it can be time consuming, and but I think it's worth it, at least at some point. It shouldn't become your focus, even though, right? So you still should focus on your business at the end. Okay, I got a question here. Where can we deepen our knowledge and learn more strategies to create an impact business? Maybe talk about your TV show and your mentorship program. Ivan, I'll do that just in a minute. I got also a couple of slides about it. So just finishing about the loan. So you can also ask for a loan, even though startups usually don't take loans because it's a debt. And if you got a little loan and then an equity investor comes in, they don't like to have loans in the balance sheets because usually the debt is paid first. So if the company is not operating well and goes bankruptcy, then as a loan, the debt is going to be paid first and not the equity part, right? They don't like it. However, in impact investing space, you can even get some interest-free loans, meaning you can get money, but you don't have to pay interest rate. Some foundations are offering that, or some governmental organizations as well. So it also can be an option, but usually you need to provide some kind of collateral. Maybe if your project need to buy land or machines, that you can still provide as collateral in case something goes wrong with your business. Okay. And last, partnership investment. A lot of times happens that startups are also becoming partners with big corporations. Why? Because, of course, they get either distribution inside of the corporation or they get expertise, credibility. They can grow much quicker because of the big corporation which is helping them. However, it can happen that it slows down the whole decision-making process as the corporations having hierarchy structures. It's not a startup, right? And yeah, so it can be also negative for the startup. You can always have several types of fundraising in parallel, right? So it's not only you should choose one and do one. You can have combination of those which we talked about. Little summary. So we learned by now what is impact investing, what are SDGs and how are they connected to impact investment, why it is important for our planet and people, and where to start with fundraising. I hope I helped you a little bit and shed some light on that. So build impactful business and transform from spectator to actor. And as Ivan asked in his question, where can you learn? So at Impact Investing School, we are working specifically with entrepreneurs and show them how to grow a successful, sustainable business and how to fundraise in impact investing sector. We've been educating many entrepreneurs by now and very successful in both getting partners, funds. They're all very happy. You can check out testimonials on impactinvestingschool.com. We have global presence in different countries by now, and our recognized experts. Ben is here in the middle with Hillary Clinton. I don't know what they're talking about, but yeah, just to show you that indeed we are the leading experts in the industry. Below myself with Sir Ronald Cohen, he is a pioneer of impact investing from England. And England is one of the leading countries in impact investing sectors. So the government is also supporting impact investing in the country. I can share with you a little secret. Mr. Ronald Cohen is going to come to our TV show in the next months. So you can subscribe on our channel, YouTube channel as well, and be informed when it's going to happen. I'm sure it's going to be amazing to have him at our show. We have a lot of partners around the world, and these are 3 brands. The Impact School, it's education-based. Chamomile Impact Community, where you can connect with like-minded people, projects, find investors and experts, so part of your team members, or maybe someone for advisory board. This you can do on Camomile. And the global TV show on impact investing called Swiss Impact with Banerjee, you can find on YouTube/Swiss Impact. So our solution is to educate all young, especially entrepreneurs, because I love to work and teach at the universities with young entrepreneurs, because their minds are more flexible. Once they learn, they implement it right away. They maybe ask a bit less questions. So they're trying it out and see, okay, it's working, and they are into it, right? Whether when I teach at financial institutions, 50 old or 60 years old people, there is much more skeptics, I tell you. So join us and learn at Impact Investing School how to do meaningful business and how to be successful with fundraising. You can sign up on the impactinvestingschool.com for newsletter. And so we have courses coming up in, let me tell you, I think March and April. So to be informed, just subscribe for our mailing list, and then you can come to our free courses and then some longer courses like 3 days. And if you like us and if we like you, we would be happy to accept you in our mentorship program, where we work during several months with you individually with one-to-one coaching and group coaching. You get access to advanced trainings, and you get expertise from different experts. So to make your business successful, to get funds, to get partners, whatever you need, and to create huge positive impact together for this blue planet. Okay, thank you very much. From my side, it's all. I'm open for questions if you have any. Drishya, maybe? Kevin has a hand.
Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, Kevin.
I want to ask, like, for some people, it's extremely new, this impact investing now as a way to make my business. And in their country, probably it has never been run. So what will be your suggestion for them in order to change probably the project they already have to make it impactful? What will be the first step that you suggest them so that they can change their mindset and transform their business?
Mindset, it usually takes quite some time, you know. What I suggest, so if you want to incorporate sustainable development goals, this could be a step which everyone could make. You just go to United Nations SDGs page, where you can see what are not only SDGs, but also the target behind each SDG, and see if your business in one or the other aspect is matching or contributing to achievement of those targets and sustainable development goals. And if it's the case, then you can start incorporating it in your mission and vision, right? So I think it's where it starts. You need to really think, where do I want to be in 10 or 15 years, maybe, right? We are not talking about 30 years, the world is too uncertain, but maybe in 5, 10 years, where do I want to be? You know, the world is changing, and people are really wanting to see some positive change. And if your enterprise is just a normal one for profit only, in the long term, you will be outcompeted by those who will do something special for the people who are working in the company and for the environment, right? This is why you should analyze all your operations, business. Is it sustainable, right? Is it creating positive impact? If not, okay, it's negative, but recognize that and then consciously start changing it. What can we do in all these aspects to transform and contribute to achieving sustainable development goals? All right.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. We have one more question from Tim is Anna Atama. Sorry. Yes.
Thank you very much for that awesome presentation. Thank you. I also appreciate the organizers for this. Is quite I don't know. It's amazing. It's just amazing. So my question is, assuming you have an idea that you would like to develop, you have an idea that you really want to work on, is there any possibility of maybe having one-on-one discussion with anybody from impact investment, especially is it possible for you to identify an area of interest and possibly have somebody that you can have more one-on-one discussion with and also see the possibility of developing such idea?
Right. You are very welcome to send us an email on info@impactinvestingschool.com. Maybe organizers can provide you this email. So info@impactinvestingschool.com. It's also published on a website. If you want to talk about your project, ideally, if you can send a summary with 1 page. So please don't send us business plans right away. 1 page of your project and points you'd like to discuss, and we see what we can do, in which way we can engage with you and have a short 15 minutes call for the beginning, for example, and see how we can help you.
Thank you very much.
All right. Are there more questions? Kevin, again? Yes?
Yes, sorry. Just to make everyone get a clear perception of what Impact Investing School does, can you explain more in detail what they will learn for the projects during their courses?
Yeah, of course. Yes. Well, we do really kind of A to Z learning for any business, right? So you will learn about your business clarity, right? So you will bring the clarity in your business. You will learn about business processes, how to structure your business, that it becomes both profitable and impactful. We will teach you also about fundraising, how to find and select investors. We are actually, once you are ready, we are also going to introduce you to some impact investors and be there while you're pitching if you want us to be there. And very important, we will help you to create your fundraising documents, right? So you have your 1-pager, you have your pitch deck, you have your financial plan, business plan, any additional documents which are standard for fundraising in impact investing sector. So we will help you with that, so you would be ready. And very important, we will teach you about impact measurement. How can you measure impact? How can you incorporate SDGs into your business model as well? And what did I forget? I mean, leadership, of course, leadership, how to be a good leader, and how to pitch successfully and negotiate with investors. Because being a good speaker, giving a strong pitch, it's so important, you know. People are emotional beings. So the content which I told you today, you will not remember, but maybe 3% of that. The rest will be all emotions. So how do you make the pitch successful? We will teach you also about that, your pitching and negotiation skills. And anything else you want to learn, we are always having one or the other expert in our networks. If we cannot cover something, then we can always invite some other experts to help you. Thanks, Ivan, Kevin, for this question.
Yeah, thank you very much. And well, for the audience, I would like to say that Ivan and I, we are already impacting with school, and it's amazing and how our business has developed in such a short period of time, which we haven't been able to do it by ourselves. Or yes, we could, but it will be probably like it will take like 10 years in order to be on the way we are right now. So I invite everyone to join.
Thank you, Kevin. That's amazing. I'm happy to hear that.
I don't know if
there is Samuel, I think, with a question.
Oh, okay.
No, actually, not actually a question, but I feel it's been a wonderful section learning about how to get funding for your projects or for your business ideas, driving towards social impact. Just that I have projects like streamlines of projects that we actually want to carry out here in Nigeria, and then focusing more on a non-profit. And then I was also discussing, Ivan and Kevin have told me a whole lot about impact investing and the platform, and it's something that I'll be willing to come on board. I'll be willing because some of the projects we are driving of recent we are gonna get the impact investing team involved, and is gonna be a great milestone for me here in Nigeria and also for the whole team of impact investing as well. So I'm looking forward to that. We have already started in drafting the concept, and once we get our hands on most of the information, we'll reach out to you, and then we know that it's going to be a worthwhile. So thank you so much. Thank you for the time. Thank you for the wonderful section, and thank you for sharing those beautiful ideas. Thank you.
Thank you, Samuel. Thank you, Samuel. And what I wanted to say that among our students, we had and have some projects which are also starting as non-profit, right? But we also teach you how to apply for non-profit by a non-profit organization or by foundations. So you could get grants and donations as well, right? It's also part of the program. So in case you are still not a business, but a non-profit or association, it's also possible to engage with us. And we usually, what we see that students transform their business models on the way. We had an amazing lady, Karin, was association, and now she's creating a company, and she's completely rocking the Swiss landscape. So it's possible to transform also if you are a non-profit. And feel free to reach out to us, okay?
Well, thank you. That is actually a beautiful idea, because actually landscaping is just like, well, it's awesome. All ideas and all communications, I'll reach out to you, and then through Ivan and Kelvin, and then hello, Dr. Ash, you just came in, so we are going to reach out, and then thank you so much. Thanks to the Pop Movement as well for the platform. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your amazing presentations, Beta. It has been really inspiring, and this also was a moment of change for us in resilience. So, but well, I congratulate you so much for this presentation. I would like to give the word to Ash for the closing remarks.
Thank you so much, hermanos, Drishya, the whole family. And I want to thank Sveta and Ben too. I know Ben isn't here with us today, but you know, this is something that is very much collective. And I've been signed into this entire session via YouTube, and of course, liking and commenting and everything. I just wanted to say that it's been profoundly inspirational, as is everything that we've been so blessed to be exposed to as a result of Swiss Impact Investment and Ben and Sweta's vision. I just want to say that we had the good fortune of connecting over a year ago now, and we've been since really just a unit. And I want to echo Sweta's point about the fact that there are some incredible ideas and projects and even implementation that we are seeing on the ground. But it's really important to find ways to sustain this work. And impact investment is an incredible opportunity to find a future, a present and a future, frankly, for everything we're doing. So we're working closely together, and we feel extremely grateful for it, and want to thank Ben and Sweta for supporting us and helping us develop and grow. And when I say us, it's about every one of you, because the POP movement is really about embracing each one of you and your vision and the action that you're leading on the ground. So when I say us, there's no separation. And so I do want to say that while Hermano Ivan asked me to share some closing words, I really want to say these are opening words, because I see this as the start. This is the start of a much longer, brighter, sustained, and impactful future. And let's take these conversations forward. But I want to, as I realize we have to respect everybody's time here, say that, Sweta, this is one among countless brilliant opportunities to spend time with you, to learn from you. And as we do, we soak up everything you say. But very importantly, it's not just about listening and feeling profoundly inspired as we do, but it's about taking this forward. So I just want to say I am committed wholeheartedly. And when I say wholeheartedly, I mean wholeheartedly, to working
You
together.
say that, and I believe.
And I mean it with every bit of my being. So I really want to create all these connections so that we can take this forward. I know hermanos Kevin and Ivan have shared their voices, and they stand here as testimony for you. We have lots more to do, but that's what we are here for. And this coming together is truly special. So I celebrate it every day of my life. Thank you, Sweta. Thank you, Ben. And thank you, precious family, of which you're precious part, Sweta, and Ben. So
thank
I
you
just
all.
want to say
Thank you very much for all your kind words. So we are just delighted to get this feedback, meaning that we are doing the right thing, and we definitely want to continue doing our work for everyone to thrive.
We can't wait for all the next steps, and stay blessed and happy, and let's act on this, guys. And I'll be seeing you in a bit, Sveta, too, in a few hours.
Of course, yes.
Thank
bye.
You.
Bye for now. Bye, guys. Bye.
Should we take a picture? Sorry.
Oh, yeah, sure. For those who can switch their cameras on, please. If you can just get a quick screen grab. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Ash. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Adama, Sam, Drishya, Dr. Bhavya, Meera, Ale, Normaji, Amalia, hermanos, Sveta, for